You want the Nanches?
Tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes. Let's
him.
go. Canelo, come on.
You heard it from him.
At 36 years old, Terence Crawford has made it clear that he only wants fights that will go down in history, and the potential showdown with Saul Canelo Alvarez feels like the biggest one right now. Crawford has been eyeing this matchup for months, and the Mexican superstar sees it as the perfect way to secure his place as one of the best fighters of this era. With His Excellency Turki Alalshik backing the deal, it looks like Canelo has finally agreed. Crawford recently scored a career-defining victory when he dominated Errol Spence Jr. that win unified the welterweight division and cemented his place in history. In that fight, Crawford, better known as Bud, displayed everything that makes him special. From the opening bell, it was clear that Spence, once considered Crawford's biggest threat, couldn't match his accuracy, power, or ring IQ. Crawford won every round and stopped Spence in the ninth, becoming the first male fighter in 4-belt-era history to remain unbeaten across 2 weight classes.
It's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason.
After his spectacular win over Spence, Crawford is now aiming even higher. His target is Canelo Alvarez, a fighter 3 weight divisions above him and arguably the biggest star in boxing today. For Crawford, this fight is about legacy. He's not chasing easy wins or smaller tests. He wants to be remembered as the very best, and facing Canelo seems like the perfect way to achieve that. Canelo, however, has been hesitant to face the naturally smaller Crawford. Despite Crawford's historic achievements, Canelo has often downplayed the idea, claiming he wouldn't get credit for beating a smaller opponent. Fighting at 168 pounds, Canelo sees Crawford, who last fought at 147, as someone not in his league in terms of size and power. At first, Canelo outright dismissed Crawford's offer, even suggesting that he should fight Teofimo Lopez first, which many saw as a way for Canelo to avoid the challenge.
Fight Teofimo first, and then we'll see, right? At the end of the day, like I said before, I'm not asking for that fight. They wanna make that fight because it's a payday, obviously. But I don't want that fight. I think.
But Crawford didn't back down. As more fans and analysts began demanding the fight, the pressure on Canelo started to grow. Crawford remained relentless, calling him out openly and fueling the hype. Things became even more interesting after Canelo's recent bout with Edgar Berlanga. Many expected Canelo to secure an easy win, as Berlanga, though undefeated, was considered a heavy underdog. Yet Berlanga surprised everyone with his toughness and determination. The fight began as predicted, with Canelo dominating early. In the third round, he landed a powerful left hook that sent Berlanga crashing to the canvas. At that point, many thought the fight was headed toward an early knockout. But Berlanga wasn't finished. He got back up, fired up with determination, and fought on. Though Canelo ultimately won comfortably on the scorecards, Berlanga managed to survive all 12 rounds, something few expected. The bout ended in a wide decision, with Canelo connecting on nearly 50% of his power shots. Despite his dominance, the fact that he couldn't stop Berlanga raised questions. Canelo hasn't scored a knockout since his 11th round stoppage of Caleb Plant back in November 2021. With 5 straight fights going the distance, some fans are beginning to wonder if his once lethal finishing ability has faded. Loyal supporters remain confident, but critics see his inability to stop Berlanga as an important sign. While the win kept his record intact, the conversation quickly shifted to what's next. During the post-fight press conference, Canelo was asked about possible opponents, including Crawford. He initially dodged the question, reinforcing the idea that he wasn't interested.
Now, put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turki Alalshik calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comment.
Behind the scenes, However, the situation was changing. Financial offers for a Crawford fight had reportedly grown significantly. Previously, Canelo was criticized for demanding too much money for the matchup, with even Turki Alalshik and Oscar de la Hoya calling his demands unrealistic. But after his performance against Berlanga, Crawford's camp and the Saudis felt more confident that Crawford could win, and they seemed more willing to meet Canelo's price.
Canelo, a legend recognizes another young beast. Well done. On both these.
That questionable performance against Berlanga may have boosted their belief that Crawford could actually beat Canelo. As a result, they appeared ready to meet his financial demands. Given Canelo's status as one of the highest-paid athletes in the world, money has always been a deciding factor in his fights. While he had dismissed Crawford before, the new lucrative offer clearly caught his attention.
Realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business talk.
Now, Canelo seems open to the fight, but with one key condition: the financial terms must make sense. Considering his star power and his reputation for commanding record-breaking paydays, this is no surprise. For Crawford, this could finally be the break he has been waiting for.
I heard him say, I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him, I'm a threat to his...
Canelo's willingness to consider the fight reignited conversations about what could be a historic showdown between two undisputed champions from different weight classes. Such an event would attract massive global attention. For Crawford, the stakes couldn't be higher. This is the ultimate legacy fight, a chance to move up 3 divisions and face one of the greatest fighters of the modern era.
About me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. So let's not.
Still, Canelo has other options on the table. One of the most discussed is a rematch with Dmitry Bivol, the Russian light heavyweight champion who handed Canelo his second professional loss in May 2022. Bivol convincingly outboxed him over 12 rounds, and Canelo has wanted revenge ever since. But negotiations stalled due to Bivol's financial demands. Interestingly, Bivol has said multiple times that he would be willing to drop down to 168 pounds for the rematch to prove his win wasn't just about size. If that happens, the fight could carry even greater importance. However, with Bivol scheduled to face Artur Beterbiev in a unification bout in October, the timing for a Canelo-Bivol rematch remains unclear.
Sensational. Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol.
Another option for Canelo is to keep defending his super middleweight titles against younger contenders. Fighters like Christian Billy and Diego Pacheco are highly ranked and could provide fresh challenges. Billy's aggressive, all-action style could make for an exciting clash. However, neither is currently seen as a true threat to dethrone Canelo. Even so, a fight with Crawford generates far more intrigue, not only because of the financial rewards but also because of the historic implications. The weight difference would likely require a catchweight agreement, and negotiations over the purse will be tough, with Canelo expecting the lion's share.
Boy boxing fight hype. I just want to ask you, what do you think about Terence Crawford? What do we think about Terence Crawford's performance, and do you want to get a fight with him?
If the money is right,
$100 million. I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
As things stand, the fight hasn't been officially announced, but with the financial details moving in the right direction and Canelo finally opening up to the idea, all signs point toward it becoming a reality. Both fighters have shown interest, and with the business side starting to align, it seems only a matter of time before this historic clash is set in motion. Canelo has repeatedly emphasized that the terms must be right, but the mounting interest from fans, media, and promoters suggests those demands will likely be met. As Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez inch closer to a blockbuster showdown, the conversation continues to focus on the challenges and rewards such a massive fight would bring. Like Alvarez, Crawford is no stranger to success. He has conquered 4 weight classes and established himself as one of the sport's premier pound-for-pound stars. But for Crawford to challenge Alvarez for his super middleweight crowns, he would need to make an enormous leap, both literally and figuratively. He'd have to move up 2 full weight divisions, a daunting task for any fighter, especially for Crawford, who has only fought once above the welterweight limit of 147 pounds. His lone appearance at 154 pounds came against Uzbekistan's Israil Madrimov, a bout he won by unanimous decision on August 3 in Los Angeles. However, Crawford's cautious, tactical approach in that fight raised questions about how he might handle the size, strength, and power of elite fighters in higher divisions. This dynamic adds even more intrigue to a possible Crawford-Alvarez showdown. Canelo himself has expressed concerns about not receiving full credit if he were to beat Crawford. Despite Crawford's unbeaten record of 41-0 with 31 knockouts, the Mexican superstar believes critics would dismiss the win as coming against a naturally smaller opponent. Alvarez has even suggested that defeating Crawford wouldn't carry the same weight as beating a true super middleweight contender like David Benavidez, though he still hasn't faced Benavidez himself. That size disparity is also why Alvarez is reportedly demanding a 9-figure payday to accept the fight. Such a massive financial request reflects the risks for Canelo. He would enter as the favorite, but any slip-up could damage his image, and even a victory might be downplayed because of Crawford's smaller frame and limited experience at higher weights. Still, the matchup has captured the imagination of fans and media alike. Despite the size difference, it represents a true clash between two pound-for-pound kings, each seeking to cement his legacy. For Alvarez, Crawford remains the most appealing option if he chooses not to face Benavidez, the undefeated WBC interim champion with knockout power. While Crawford would enter as a heavy underdog, the fight itself would draw enormous mainstream attention and generate massive revenue, positioning it as arguably the biggest event in boxing today. Yet the road to making it happen extends beyond weight classes and paydays. One obstacle is Alvarez's strained relationship with Turki Alalshik, who has become one of the most influential figures in the sport due to the staggering sums he has invested. Alvarez's refusal to face Benavidez has already sparked a public rift, with Alalshik criticizing him openly on social media. But history shows that money has a way of smoothing over differences, and given the scale of the potential payday, both sides may be willing to set aside personal conflicts. Alvarez, already one of the wealthiest athletes in boxing, has long balanced the roles of fighter and businessman. If the financial package is lucrative enough, he could be convinced to move forward. He has also shown he can withstand criticism if it means securing the right fight. His recent bout with Edgar Berlanga drew backlash from fans who felt Berlanga hadn't earned the opportunity. Yet Alvarez pressed ahead, understanding that business comes first. The same logic applies to Crawford. Though smaller and less proven at higher weights, his status as an undefeated, 4-division champion and future Hall of Famer would provide enough credibility to make the fight a commercial blockbuster. In many ways, Alvarez and Crawford need each other. Both are nearing the final chapters of their storied careers, both have accomplished nearly everything, and neither seems eager to face the hungry young lions in their divisions. For Crawford, that means fighters like WBC interim champion Virgil Ortiz Jr. or IBF title holder Jaron Boots Ennis, dangerous opponents but far less rewarding financially. Crawford, who turns 37 in September, understands that a fight with Alvarez offers not only a potential 9-figure payday but also a chance to align with Alalshik's vision for the sport. Rather than risk it all against younger, hungrier challengers, Crawford appears determined to bet on himself against a bigger, stronger, elite-level opponent. Critics accuse him of chasing money rather than greatness, but Crawford is unapologetic. At this stage of his career, he insists he is seeking both the toughest challenges and the biggest rewards, and Alvarez offers both. After Canelo's latest fight, Crawford made his position clear on social media, posting a bold, simple message on X, "Put me in the game, coach." It was a direct challenge, signaling his readiness to step up against the reigning king of the super middleweight division. Crawford has had Alvarez in his sights for some time, but this latest declaration feels like his most serious push yet. With his perfect record and pound-for-pound credentials, a victory over Canelo at 168 pounds would be the crowning achievement of his career. Meanwhile, Alalshik has added fuel to the fire, declaring after Crawford's most recent win that he is prepared to put serious money on the table to make the fight a reality. According to ESPN's Mike Coppinger, Turki Alalshik stated, "I will give Canelo what I believe is a fair price. If he accepts, he will deal directly with me to finalize the agreement. I don't want anyone else involved. I promised Crawford a big fight. I want Canelo for Crawford, and Crawford wants Canelo." Alalshik's comments highlight just how determined he is to make this blockbuster matchup a reality, one with the potential to capture massive global attention. His statement also indicates that he is prepared to negotiate directly with Alvarez, bypassing traditional promoters and intermediaries. This kind of direct approach could simplify the process, cutting through the usual complications and delays that often come with boxing negotiations and contractual disputes.
Before, and this is my opinion, I don't start talking about these things. He start and he said he respect me, and but he doesn't like what we are doing in boxing. That's why I said what I said.
Yeah.
However, there is still a potential stumbling block. Alalshik hinted that Canelo's financial demands might prove to be an issue. If Canelo becomes unreasonable with his demands, I will still guarantee Crawford any major fight he wants, Alalshik emphasized. His words made it clear that while he is fully committed to delivering Alvarez versus Crawford, he will not allow excessive demands from Canelo to derail Crawford's shot at a massive payday. With this assurance in place, the path towards securing the fight looks clearer than ever. If both sides stay the course, fans may finally see Canelo and Crawford share the ring. Now the question remains, will this long-discussed mega fight actually happen?